Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? That was such a serious look at first, wasn't it? It was such a serious look. How are you guys doing today? Let me just tell you about this day. Okay, first of all, I had to bring the blanket back out. I thought that I had folded it for the very last time. I actually, earlier today, we'll get to the weather in just a second, okay? Earlier today, if you watched my Peter Does Stuff video, I took a walk. So you will see all the snow that we got. But now, the snow is kind of melted, okay? But earlier today, I was like, I'm gonna have to wear like my ski hat out here, my ski hat, the beanie, my scarf, my gloves, my blanket. But really the reason why I am wearing or using my blanket today is because I just have these on and no socks, and I don't want to put my boots on because my boots are soaking wet from my walk. But the snow is melting all over here, so I'm afraid to get my blanket wet. But no, true story. And don't call me Truly Brown. True story, I thought, oh, that's so cozy, and I can take my sandals off if I want to. True story, I thought that winter was over. So I think yesterday I was talking about the weather, and it said that we were supposed to get snow last night. I was like, we're not going to get any snow last night. If we do, it's just going to be a little bit. And I told Alex last night, I said, we're supposed to get snow tonight. He's like, it's not going to snow tonight. And then it was like 1:30 or 2 in the morning, and I was sitting there and I was watching School Spirits. The dogs were next to me, and I just taken them out like a half an hour before. Oh, my phone's inside uploading the video. I just taken them out like a half an hour before. And so I looked down the patio and it was like white. And I was like, is the moon like really bright tonight and it's making the patio? This is really what I thought. Our patio is like painted like grayish blue. And I was like, is the moon so bright that it's making our patio look white? And so I got up and I looked. I was like, oh my God, there's like a half an inch of snow. And so I took a picture of it because I thought we're not going to get much more snow than that. And then I woke up today and honest to God, we had like 3 or 4 inches of snow. I couldn't believe it. But I woke up real early today too. I had to. I have a hangnail right here on this. It's hurting. I don't like that. I haven't had a hangnail in forever. Anyway, and I'm going on about 1.5 hours, 2 hours of sleep right now. But before I get to that, I think I need to address the elephant in the room, which is my camera. So yesterday when I filmed my vlog, I was for sure, don't call me Shirley, I was for sure that I had fixed the blur on my camera, and I was the little smudge, and I was so worried because people on the video were like, oh, I think it's like the internal sensor or something. I was like, oh, I don't know how to clean that. I don't even know what that means. I could take it somewhere, but then I was like, I'm gonna have to order a new camera. So last night, I was looking at it, and like the lens is so smudged and stuff, and so I was like, what can I get to clean this? So I have like this, like, you know, glasses cleaning kit. I have like 10 of them from like, you know, sunglasses and whatever. So I sprayed the stuff on there, and I thought it would make it more smudged, honestly, and I cleaned it. And now I feel like it's more clean than it's been forever. So if look, this is my 8th video that I am filming today. So if I go inside and I upload this and the smudge is still here, who was it that said about porn? I think Lisa said, I know, people don't think I read the comments. I read every comment. But Lisa said something about this area right here just looks like it's in portrait mode, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, oh, she's so right, it does. But anyway, I gotta cross my legs, and I gotta keep my legs covered while I do that. So anyway, if I go inside today and like it's still smudged, I filmed all my videos upstairs in the bedroom. Well, the one I walked around outside, and I put all of them are rendered. Most of them uploaded. I haven't posted any of them yet, and I haven't seen the smudge on there. So if the smudge is on, it's either outside or I didn't see it on the other 7 videos that I filmed. I'm gonna pick at this thing until it's gone. It's gonna hurt when I pull it. I know people are like, just pull it, and other people are like, don't pull it. If I ever ask for recommendations on here, it's like, did you ever do this, like, with your friends, and you ask for, like, well, what should I do in this situation? And then, like, this is why I don't ask my friends. I ask, like, Tanya. Well, I mean, I only have, like, 3 friends in my life that I would even ask for opinions on. But anyway, but, like, if you ask, like, you know, 10 people, it's like 5 tell you one thing, 5... If I ever say in a vlog, what should I do with this hangnail? 5 of you will say pull it, and 5 of you will say don't pull it. So then it's like, okay, well, I should have just never even mentioned it. I kind of love that, though. Whenever I ask for suggestions or advice, I always learn something new. Somebody will say something like, well, what you need to do is do this, and I'll be like, oh, I never thought of that before. I think I learned, like, when you get an eyelash stuck, I feel like I learned that from vlogging. Years ago, you know, like when you get, I haven't had, now watch, that's going to happen to me tonight. But like, I haven't had an eyelash stuck in forever. Like, you know when you get it stuck in the corner of your eye and it just drives you crazy. And somebody, I think it was in my vlog, I said something about it, I was vlogging one night, and somebody said you pull your eyelid way down and then out and over. Oh my God, it so works. Did you not know that? You pull your eyelid way down and then out and over, and it like releases the eyelash. Now, somebody's going to tell me another trick on here. Teach me another trick, because when that happens, it drives me crazy. Anyway, so I think I fixed the smudge, because I sprayed it with this eyeglass cleaner stuff, and then I cleaned it real good with a brand new, like, not that thing I use to clean my glasses, but, which is actually a watch cleaner from this wood watch that I have from years ago. I think it was it was from years ago. Anyway, I cleaned it with that, and then, or not with that one, but I cleaned it with like a brand new, like I'd never used it before. So I'm hoping that it's clean now. And then I'm gonna try to do that like once a week. I know I'll never remember that, but I think the smudge, the blur it's all a blur. It's fixed now. Is it? I can't see. But anyway, I just made my very first cup of coffee for the day. It is, right now, it is $3.50. I know, it's $3.50, you guys, and this is my 8th video. I filmed on every single one of my channels today. And I almost filmed 2 videos on my TV channel. So here's what happened, okay? And I was just texting with Alex, and he said he'd be home at 5, but he said he thinks he's going to get done early because he got in early today because he had to take me to the dentist on his way. And so he's like, I think I'll be done early. So he said I should be home by like 4:30. And I was like, oh, perfect, then I'll go vlog right now. And then I'll be done, and then he can relax and roll through his TikToks. And then, when he's doing that, I can like make my thumbnails and upload my videos, and then I should be completely done by like 5:30 or 6 with everything. And I can just watch TV and read. I want to take a walk. Okay, so earlier today, when we left the house this morning, it was still snowing. It was freezing cold. It was like in the 20s. It was windy. The roads were really bad. They were icy and stuff like that. Even just up to like a couple hours ago when I walked outside. Well, it was like noon when I walked outside. But can we look at it now? Like, it's all melted. The streets are completely dry. Everything's melted. So, yeah, all the snow is gone. I mean, you can still see it, like, on the roof of the house and stuff like that. But all the snow is gone, the ice and stuff. But this morning, it was freezing. Okay, so we'll talk about last night in a second. But I was like, I got so tired last night. Well, so last night, Alex and I watched the Traitors finale, the Traitors reunion. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't watched it. I will say this, like, I would have done what the winner did at the end. Don't say the names in the comment section below. I would have done what the winner did at the end. I mean, it's a game. You have to play a game, right? But I did really feel bad for, like, well, one of the people at the end I felt really, the last person I felt bad for. But I will also say this. I think the winner has played the best game on, and Alex said not UK, because this one guy in UK played, like, a great game. I was like, I think the winner played a better game than any winner I have ever seen on Traitors. Like, thought it through the whole way. It was fantastic. The reunion was really good. I thought the reunion would get really hateful, because, like, last season it kind of did, but it didn't really get that hateful. So we watched a reunion. Then we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. And then we watched RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked. And we were going to watch Beverly Hills. And I was like, I've got to lay down. Like, I've got to take a nap. And Alex is like, now don't forget, we're leaving here at 7:30 in the morning so that I can take you to your dental appointment before I go to work. And I was like, okay. And because my dental appointment was at 8. And then I was going to Uber home, which was nice of him to take me because that way I didn't have to go both ways. Because that would have been a whole other hour added to it. So he had kind of go out of his way, but it was nice. So anyway, so I was like, because he was like, don't take a long nap because if you get up late, you know, and I was like, okay. So, well, we teased each other a little bit more than that. Because I was like, well, don't stay up late. Because he's watching that. It's some Game of Thrones spinoff, Seven Kingdoms or something. I don't know. But anyway, he's watching that right now. So, this is so weird, by the way. So, I got a dental appointment. I have it's like a permanent retainer. It goes over the back of this tooth. And it's just supposed to, like, push this one out a little bit so I don't lose the tooth. And so it's supposed to help them align more. I can't remember what she called it. She said I have something, it's where they, like, the bite goes like this. I know some of you out there work for, or like dental hygienists and stuff like that and dentists. Because she said what it is. It's 2 things that's going on. And then, so the next thing I have to do, so I got that put in today. It didn't hurt at all. It was completely fine. It was literally less than a half an hour. And I honestly, like, the wire behind my teeth here that I, like, swallowed years and years and years ago, that would drive me crazy. This one, I don't really know how to explain it. It just kind of feels like a piece of metal in the back of my tooth. I don't really know how to explain it. It almost kind of feels like a chipped tooth a little bit. She showed me what it was before she put it in. And they put it inside this, like, plastic-like thing, and they, like, put it up there with glue, and then she, like, put the glue on my tooth, and, I mean, it was really, like, it wasn't, oh, here come my favorite neighbors. She was looking right over it. You were looking for me.
I heard you before I...
Aw, it's good to see you. I saw the dog before I saw you. How are you?
He leads the way.
I know. It's getting warmer. You don't need your hood anymore.
I do and I don't.
It was bad this morning.
Yeah.
It's all melted now.
Crazy. I've never seen anything melt so fast.
I know. And I looked at the temperature. It's only like 35 or 38.
48?
38.
No way, not now.
No, I just looked before I came out here.
Oh,
Yeah, the wind's bad out there. Next week, 60s and rain, though. Woohoo! You too. I love them so much. So, I gotta tell you a story about my neighbors that I met last night. I've talked about them on here before. She's probably watching this right now. Oh my God. She was like, what's my nickname? She got real excited about it. Okay, I'll tell you about it. I would have forgot if they hadn't walked by. So anyway, so I went upstairs to lay down. Alex was going to watch downstairs, and he was like, no, I'm going to come upstairs with you and the dog. So he came upstairs. I was like, so he was like, now, don't sleep too late, because I think he thought I wouldn't get up early if I, like, stayed up till, like, 3 o'clock in the morning and, then, like, you know, then stayed up till, like, 6 o'clock and watched TV. I'd never get up in the morning, right? I was like, well, you don't stay up late. Because lately, he has been, like, watching TV shows or on TikTok until, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. And he has to get up at, like, 6, you know? And then he's like, he's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, well, I can't imagine why. I gotta drink some of this coffee. Okay, I just made look, I'm trying to use different cups. Remember when I bought this? This is Copco. I got it on Amazon. Anyway, this is the Cafe Bustelo with one equal. You can close it with this little thing. It's like a game. Okay, anyway. They are already way down the street. They live over there. They have I want to get one of these for my back window. The dentist had them today. I think the other one, I saw it in her other room, but in this room today she had a different one. But they don't ever put bird feed in it. You know those bird feeders that you can get that are like this material? But you can like see through them? You can put them on your window. They like stick to your window, and then you can like, they have like bird feed, and the birds come inside and eat, and you can see. I want to get those for a back patio window. My husband will probably be fine with that. But they have them like on their kitchen window and all kinds of stuff. Because when I walk by there at night, I can see them. Anyway, they have like a kitchen window that like sticks out. Do you know what I'm talking about? What's that called? Like a box window? But it's like big. It's like, it kind of looks like a nursery, like a plant nursery. And she's got all these plants and bird feeders and stuff in there. It's really cool. I like it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so I told him, I said, well, don't you stay up too late on your TikTok and your TV shows. He's like, I'm watching one episode and then I'm going to bed. Well, I laid down. I don't know what time that was. I laid down and I got up, and it wasn't that late. Well, I wanted to watch 1,000 Pound Sisters because I wanted to take notes. So I watched 1,000 Pound Sisters. I read last night a lot. And then I finished. I watched 1,000 Pound Sisters and took notes. Did my video for that today. I was going to do the true crime one, too. I got to kind of look it up because it's been like 2 weeks now. I want to make sure I know what I want to say on it. And then I watched School Spirit. So I watched an episode and a half, and then I went to bed. So I was in bed by I was kind of proud of myself last night. I know you guys are going to think this is crazy when I say this is early for me. But you have to, mind you, I took a nap, too. When Alex is up there watching TV, I kind of just I'm so comfy. I kind of fall asleep for a little bit, and then I wake back up, and then I fall back, you know. So anyway, so I didn't take a great nap. But anyway, I went to bed. I can't remember what time it was, but I got into bed and I read. I read like 4 chapters of the Cozy Mystery book on my Kindle, and then I read the chapters are really long in the Edge of Life book by Lena Gibson. I just talked about it on my booktube video today. So I did I'm doing a reading update every week on my booktube channel, and so I really talked a lot about that book. The Edge of Life by Lena Gibson. I love this. It's a post-apocalyptic romance. But it's more post-apocalyptic than it is romance. The romance is like builds over the whole book. I love the characters. It's really written really well. I mean, there's some grammatical errors and stuff like in all Kindles, but it's pretty good. So anyway, I read a bunch of that last night. I read a chapter of something else. And then I finally looked at the clock, and I was like, it was at that point, it was like, I had to get up at 6:30 to like get the dogs and everything, right? And so like take them out, get them fed and everything like that. So, and my plan at that point was, as soon as I came home, I was going back to bed. Honey, I was going back to bed. I was tired. I was like, no. So, when I looked at the clock, it was like 4 o'clock. And so I was like, oh my God, if I fell asleep this second, I only get 2.5 hours of sleep. I don't really know what time I fell asleep, but I kept on looking at the clock, but I don't remember the last time I saw it. I think I got like an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep. Got up, got dressed, got ready. This is not what I wore. I wore this blue shirt. I mean, I didn't dress up for my hair looked so bad at the dentist today, I did not care. Oh, I wore my new North Face pullover, and I wore my On Cloud black walking sneakers today because it was so snowy outside that I couldn't wear my clogs. So I was like, I just pulled them out of the closet real quick. I got dressed and ready before Alex did, couldn't believe it. And then I went downstairs, took the dogs out, got them fed, got them with treats, and put them back in their house and stuff like that. And then, yeah, and then we left, and I got to my dentist appointment, got in, and then I was home. I should have brought some Kleenex out with me, did I? My nose has been running so bad. Oh, by the way, you know, like the other day I said I don't know if I'm like getting sick or it's my allergies. I feel like so much better today. I feel like 100% better. Maybe I do better in the cold weather because it's cold again and it's snow, and I'm like, I feel 100% better today. Although I would prefer to have the warm weather. Who is that? Oh, that's the neighbor that I saw the other day with Walter and Otis. I wonder if they just moved in. No, she said something to me that day. That's weird. Like she went out there to check the mail. We still haven't got our mail yet. That was like the third time in a week that I've seen her. There's been a lot of trucks coming and not trucks, a lot of cars coming and going today. So anyway, what was I saying? How did you know that he really loves me? Remember that song? Say a prayer. I gotta take this thing off because if I sip it, do you ever sip it on this and it like kind of burns your tongue a little bit? Or your lips? Plus, I don't like drinking out of cups with that. I like to drink out of cups this way. So cheers. This is a pretty color, isn't it? I was very calculated when I bought this cup because I was like, I always buy everything like in white or plain or whatever. And I was like, no, get some colorful cups. So I got this one in lavender. I think I got another one like in white. I feel like a sneeze coming on. I remember somebody said to me years ago, sneezes come in threes, and I always think of that. I don't know why, it drives me crazy. Anyway, okay, I was gonna try to spill my coffee. So anyway, came back today, and then when I got back, I like took the dogs out. We were outside for a bit, and I wasn't super tired when I got back. I don't know why. I kind of like, I think being at the dentist, being around other people gave me my second wind a little bit. So I was like, I called Tanya and I called Nikki, and I was like, at the time, it was like, I think I got back and it was like 10:15. And I was like, if I started filming my videos now, it actually took me longer than I thought it would. But I did kind of take breaks in between and stuff like that. But I was like, if I started filming now, and I did an almost hour drama video, it was like 57, 58 minutes. I was like, if I started filming now, I could be done by like 3 o'clock with everything and then just have my vlog. Which, I have almost all of them uploaded. And I'm filming my vlog, and it's almost 4 o'clock. So, I mean, I kind of kept to my schedule. So what is that? I started at like 11 o'clock. So 5 hours to film 8 videos, and one of them was an hour long. That's not too bad. I mean, I took breaks in between and took the dogs out and stuff like that, cleaned up. Oh, I've been doing laundry, stuff like that. Folding towels. I just folded towels, and I put, but I try to do some of that stuff, like, while I'm uploading videos. So, you know, like, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Like, I know a while ago I said, like, I shouldn't measure by, like, how much, you know, I get done in a day. But I do feel like I was, what's the word I'm looking for? No, I can't think of it. I do feel like I was productive today. I had a dentist appointment. Now, watch, I will crash out so early tonight. But my plan is, okay, Alex will come home, I'll get my videos done, and then I'm gonna take my walk tonight. I'm gonna finish the Laura Dave book, and then Nikki she started and finished in one day yesterday, the new Taylor Adams book. I can't remember what it's called, but I think Taylor Adams is a he, that wrote No Exit. I love Taylor Adams books. I think that's the third one. This will be the third one I've read. So once I finish the Laura Dave book, I'm gonna read the new Taylor Adams book on Audible. I think it's like 8 or 9 hours. So I'm gonna take a walk tonight. I'm gonna unless it's really cold out there like they're saying. It doesn't feel that cold up here. Not anymore, it doesn't. But that'll kind of have, or unless I start crashing out. And then my plan is to come back, take a shower, eat dinner, and I'm gonna take a long nap on it tonight, like 3 hours. And then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna watch Suddenly Amish, take my notes on that, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna binge watch School Spirits. Or maybe a movie in School Spirits, we'll see, so I can do a movie tomorrow. I am loving this season of School Spirits. I'm only on episode 3 right now, but I'm loving it. Episode 2? Yeah, I finished, I watched the second half of episode 1 and episode 2. So I'm going to be starting episode 3, I think, yeah. So that was my day today. Okay, so let me tell you about my neighbors. Are you ready? So I was outside with Walter and Otis last night. And this woman and her husband walked by. She had a hat on, so she didn't look familiar to me. Like she had like a ski hat, like a beanie with like the ski, the ski hats on. We used to call them ski hats back in the day. And her husband. And they were walking. And so they had two dogs with them. And I had Walter and Otis out there. And so they stopped and like the dogs were like, playing and whatever, and sniffing each other. And we started talking. And we're talking about the dogs and stuff like that at first. And I said something about, I said, I see you. Well, I had gotten them confused with another house outside the neighborhood because she was standing and okay, so she's the one that walks with her two sons. Do you remember I've talked about them a lot? Like I'm like, her sons are older though. Like, is she a widow? Or are they like visiting her? Blah, blah, blah. Like I could not figure it out to save my life, right? And then I talked to them a couple times out there. Well, she was standing with her son in somebody else's yard. I thought that was her house, that she was standing in this yard. I've seen them out there like twice with neighbor's yard, neighbor on the other side of the street. So her husband was like, oh, this is exactly, like, it told me exactly where they live. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, yeah, we see you out there walking, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, yeah, I see you guys out there too, but you walk by my house a lot. And she's like, yeah, you're always on your phone or your camera. Do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I heard from some of the neighbors, like they told me like to look you up, that you're really funny, blah, blah, blah. She was super nice. I was like, my neighbors? She's like, yeah, some of the people in the neighborhood are like, oh my God, he's got this really funny YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. He talks about the neighbors. And I said, yeah, I think I give everybody in the neighborhood a nickname. And she was like, do I have a nickname? And I was like, no, because it's usually people that live in the neighborhood. She goes, can I have a nickname? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, I'll find out tomorrow what it was. And I said, well, you can pick your own nickname. That was at the end of it. But anyway, so we were standing out there talking so much and the dogs were pulling. So like Otis and Walter were like wanting to go inside. So I put them inside with Alex and I came back out and I was talking to her and her husband. So she said something to me and she was like, she said, oh, I remember who, like, I heard it, like, somebody in my neighborhood was like, oh, he's got these really funny YouTube channels. Well, she was mentioning it to somebody that we have a friend in common, okay? And then her husband, his brother is somebody that, like, I knew really, really well. And he went to high school with, he knows my cousin Caroline. So we're out there and we're, like, talking and we're like, I was like, oh my God, Caroline, like, grew up, he's like, yeah, she grew up, like, 1 block from where we live now. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so he graduated a year before Caroline. And I was like, oh my God, this is so hilarious. We knew all these people in common. And so I was like, and so then I was asking her, I was like, yeah, I couldn't figure out like if you were a widow. And she's like, oh, because we can never get him to walk with us. And I was like, well, so what's the story with your sons? And her oldest son, I was kind of right on age. So the 2 sons that I see her walking with, one just graduated from college like a year ago and moved back home with his first job. The oldest one quit a job. He's like in his late 20s. Quit his job and wanted to move back home so that I wanted to move back home. I don't know. She was explaining, I think from Chicago or somewhere. And then their youngest son is at like college for his first year and comes home like every other weekend. And then their other son, basically, like, 2 of them live at home, and 2 of them go back and forth between home and college campus. So she's like, We have 4 sons, 2 dogs, a cat, and she said something else. It was so funny. They were so hilarious, and she's like, oh, we're going to have to talk all the time now. So I think I might have met some new friends. I'm really excited about it. And they're like my age, and they live in this neighborhood out here. I love their house. Oh my God, I was like, when I found it, I was like, oh my God, I love your house. She was like, thank you so much. They were so sweet. They were so friendly. So I got to give them, should I call them well, I mean, there's so many walkers. I was like, maybe I should just call them the Walkers. But what should I call them? That sounds like a last name. That's not their last name. People are like looking it up. Who? The Walkers. Indianapolis. I do know people with that last name. I can't think of anybody right now that I think it's somebody I went to high school with. Her last name was Walker. I probably know more than one person with the last name of Walker, don't you think? It's kind of a common name. But no, what should I call them? The Fast Walkers. They're fast. Watch, I'll say it, and she'll like walk by here with her kids tonight. She was so funny. She was like, we can never get him to walk with us. And I said, no, I've seen him with you a couple times. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not a big walker like they are. She's like, we walk almost every single day. I was like, where do you walk? Because I was telling her like where I walk out there and stuff. She was like, well, I wonder why you kind of come to our house. Because their house is kind of like at the end of the street. And I was like, well, I go down there and I do loop back around. So anyway, so I was like, we were explaining to each other where we walk. Because like around here, you could literally walk like 10 miles and just stay within like a 2-mile radius. Somebody's walking down the street right now. Wouldn't this be so funny if this was her? No, it's somebody talking on the phone. I can tell. They're talking on one of those things. Maybe. Oh, no. It's... Hey, ladies! 2 days in a row. It's not that bad up here.
Well, you're kind of, you're underneath the, got your blanket.
I got my blanket.
You're set.
I am. Getting ready to walk like you guys here in a second. Enjoy it. That's the lady with the Christmas tree that lives in my favorite house. That traded houses with Caroline's neighbor. I love my neighborhood. All the neighbor stories. It's so fun. And now, like, we had, like, 2 days of nice weather, so everybody is, like, getting out. Like, even though it's still cold outside, like, because you can hear... My ears are kind of a little cold right now, but everybody's getting outside and stuff like that. I should probably go put my other hat on. Should I? I could upload another video while I'm doing that. I'm almost at the 30-minute mark. Maybe I'll wait a couple minutes. When did I start this? Well, Alex said he would be home about 4:30. My phone's inside. He probably texted me and said I'm on my way home. So maybe I should go get it. No, I don't want to right now. I'm so lazy. So yeah, last night I watched 1,000 Pound Sisters and took notes. It was a good episode last night, 1,000 Pound Sisters. And then Nikki told me, I am 3 episodes behind of Love After Lockup. Nikki told me that last week was the season finale of it. But then it'll start like 2 weeks from now and it'll be Love, well this was Love During Lockup, so it'll be Love After Lockup, right? Well, Love Before Lockup? No, it's Love During Lockup, Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. I don't know, it's supposed to not come back till the fall. I can't imagine they did this and it's not coming back to the fall. They usually, it's like on constant rotation. But I have like 4 seasons to catch up on anyway. So tonight, I want to walk, finish the Lord Dave book, start the Taylor Adams book. I want to watch a lot of TV. But anyway, okay, so last night, I'll be honest with you, like when I was watching TV, I was kind of like, I don't want to get up. I did not want to go to the dentist today at all. I was so convinced. They're doing something down here. It sounds like they're washing the street or something. I can't see. It's this truck way down there. I don't know what's going on. I was so convinced that it was going to be so painful to get this dental work done. I was like convinced. I was like, you cannot tell me otherwise that it's not going to hurt. And so I didn't want to get this dental work done today. And I didn't want to get up early. And I know when I say this, people will be like, you should get up early. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. I love my late nights. I love staying up till 5:30 or 6. I do. I just love it. And like tomorrow, like this worked out perfect because... Like back in the day when I worked in treatment, like I worked Saturdays, but I got off at like 4 o'clock. But with like overtime and stuff, I could sometimes leave by like 2. And so like when everybody was just getting their day started on the weekend, I'd already worked my hours. Then I was off Sunday and Monday. So I was like off all Saturday, Saturday night, all Sunday and Sunday night. And then I had all Monday and Monday night. And then I went back to work on Tuesday. It was perfect because I was off like real early on Saturday. So it was like perfect for me. That's kind of how I feel today. Like, I have everything that I wanted to get done early. I'll have my walk done early. And then I can just relax tonight. And even if I say I'll take a really long nap, like, max, I know I take long naps, but like I max out at about 2.5 hours. Like I can't sleep past that. I can't. Well, maybe sometimes I can, but not usually. So, wonder what that is down there. Okay, this is going to die here in like 15 seconds. I'm going to go inside and, well, actually I'm going to change the battery right now, but then I'm going to also go inside and start uploading my drama video. So when I get done with this, all of my videos are uploaded. So I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. My drama video is uploading inside. It's going to take 2 hours to upload. So that was a good idea because, well, Alex still hasn't texted me yet. And it was like, when I went inside, it said it was like, what time is it right now? It said 4:21 when I looked. It's 4:27 right now. I brought my phone out because I'm uploading my Peterisms video right now. So how long do I have on this Peterisms video? Oh, it says 1 hour, 48 minutes. It won't take that long. It'll quicken up here in a second. But anyway, Alex hadn't texted me yet, and it was like 4:21 when I looked at the clock on the computer. And so I was like, oh, well, he won't be home by 4:30. Unless sometimes he like calls his mom on the way home and stuff and he doesn't text me. But he usually texts me and is like, I'm coming home, babe. So, anyway, that's kind of like his to let me know. I told him, I said, I'm done filming everything except for my vlog. So maybe he didn't call for that reason. But sometimes he talks to his mom or somebody on the phone on the way home. But usually he texts me. So if he hasn't left yet, I'll have everything done by the time that he comes home. I'll have my vlog, well, not everything up because these videos are taking kind of a long time to upload today. Oh, now it says 36 minutes, 41. It goes back and forth. It goes up and down. But by the time I'm done vlogging, the Peterisms video should be up. All of my other videos they're uploaded. I just haven't posted them yet, except for my drama video. I still have to make thumbnails for every single one of my video. Can I just tell you a really strange thing that happened while I was in there? Did you ever have moments like this? Okay. So I was sitting at the computer, and it's like silent inside the house. The dogs are asleep, and it's like silent. And I'm sitting there at the computer, and I heard the dryer going downstairs. Why is that such a comforting sound to me? The dryer just like turning, it's like the cycle. And I don't know why that like, it kind of reminds me of being a kid. I can remember, so our basement in the house that I grew up in, it was not finished. Okay, so the basement, the house that I lived in, Caroline, well, the last time it was for sale, I think a single doctor lived in there and then he sold it. But anyway, Caroline showed me the pictures online and, I wish I still had them. I would show you guys what it looked like inside. They had like changed a lot. I mean, still like the floor plan and stuff obviously looked the same, but they had changed a lot. So when you walked in, it was like slate floor and then living room and then there was the library that had the French doors on it and the staircase went up like that. But then when you walked through the entryway, it was like all this like, the slate floor looked like a church in like Scotland. It was like different colored tiled church and it was like different shapes and sizes. I mean, it looked like an old church. And then that went into the kitchen, which was like a hearth kind of kitchen. It's kind of hard to explain. And then that was like the kitchen. So you walked in the front door on the ground floor, but when you walked into the kitchen, it was like so it's kind of built on like a hill. So it was like on the kitchen overlooked the second floor, the dining room overlooked the second floor, the office, the mud room, the garage, all were overlooked the second floor. The porch on the end overlooked the second floor. The people that bought it after like us, they put in an entire, like on the back, they put in an entire, like the whole, I think somebody might have put a pool in, or I don't know, but anyway, at some point. But they put an entire deck, like 20-foot deck, going up to the edge of the creek. I mean, you literally are standing on the deck overlooking the creek. It would have been fantastic. It would have been, oh my God, it would have been so cool. My mom would have loved that. I don't even know why we never thought of it. It didn't even look like it was possible. So, like, they knocked out, like in the kitchen, they put in sliding glass doors, but then like off of the porch, which is like all brick, it's not like a 3-season room, it's like a room, but we call it the porch because it had like 3 sides were all windows and the inside was like exposed white brick with like red underneath it. It was a really cool room. It had like green carpeting and stuff. It looked like a sun porch because it was floor to ceiling windows. You crank them out. It was really cool. So anyway, I heard a car. It sounded like Alex's, but I was like, no, that sounds like a plane or a helicopter. My husband's car sounds like a plane or a helicopter. But anyway, I know it's that thing down there, whatever that thing is doing. It almost kind of sounds like one of those like sewage ditch things, like it's draining it or something. We got an email about they're turning off the water. Was that last week or was that this week they're doing that? They have to turn off the water in the neighborhood whenever somebody's getting something done to their house, but they only turn it off for like 2 hours. Anyway, so one of the renovations they did was that they knocked out some walls. I don't even know how they did it because it's brick on the side of the house. But they knocked out these walls. And so like some of the patio was like, it was just really cool how they did it. Well, the basement they redid too. So the basement was like the full length of the house. So when you walk down the stairs in the basement, to the left was the laundry room. None of it was finished. It was all like cement walls. I mean, like finished, not finished at all. Like it was all cement walls and cement floors with crawl spaces exposed and stuff like that. Very similar to our basement here. So when you went down the stairs and you turned to the left was the laundry room. And it literally just had like a washer and dryer and an ironing board, and then my mom had like a clothesline. That was it. And it had crawl space in the back, which I was terrified of my whole life. And then if you turn to the right in the room, it had like, it was huge. Like I don't even know how many feet across it was. It was a huge room. It was the full length of the house. And then I had down there like play stuff when I was a kid and whatever. My friend across the street, she and I would roller skate down there. Like we would roller skate back in the day. I don't know where we came up with this obsession, but she would be Donna Summer and I would be Hugh Hefner, and we were at the Playboy Mansion. We were like 8. This is my friend Jesse that lived across the street. This is before our friend Katie moved in. But anyway, we would roller skate down there in the winter. She had these like caftans and stuff that she got from her mom. I think that was because like, didn't Donna Summer have like a caftan dress on? So I think that's why she was Donna. We loved Donna Summer. But anyway, I don't know why. And I had like a silk robe or something, and we would like roller skate, and we would say we were at the Playboy Mansion. That is so funny when I look back on that our parents didn't think we were crazy. Our parents probably loved it. They thought it was probably hilarious. But that was the big room. Then when you went around to the other room, like through the big room to the other side of where it was on the opposite side of the laundry room, there was another room the size of the laundry room, and it was completely like, I don't even think there was light on in there. And it had a crawl space in there as well. We never used that room ever. Then on the opposite end of the big room, okay, and there was doors down there that were like double bolted shut locked, and there was like 2 windows down there too in the basement, because it was like on the ground level of the floor, because the kitchen was above it. So there were like 2 windows that you could like crank out, but we never did. I remember my mom was always really scared somebody would break into the basement down there, because the door to from the kitchen to the basement, that's how you got to the basement, was through the kitchen. It was like this heavy duty, like double bolted door. And like I can remember my mom was like always like when she would open it like late at night, she was always scared somebody was in the basement. Cause you could have like if you were upstairs and somebody broke a window, I mean this was like, we had no alarm on the house or anything. If somebody broke a window and got into the basement, like you wouldn't know it. Like you wouldn't hear it. Like the house was like upstairs, you would not have heard of the basement. It was so far away. The house wasn't, like, I look back on it, like, it felt big, but all the rooms were really small. It wasn't, like, a massive house. Not compared to a lot of the houses that I grew up around and stuff like that. I mean, some of them were, like, I don't even know how many square feet it was. But, like, it was, I mean, it wasn't, I grew up in a beautiful home. But it was, I mean, it wasn't massive. But it just was far enough from, like, the bedrooms to the basement that if somebody broke a window in the basement, and the windows backed up to the woods. You were 10 feet from the woods. So somebody could have walked from the woods. We actually, have I told the story in here about the cat burglar? I'm sure I have at some point, but it's been a long time. I'll tell that in a second. So anyway, I mean, I grew up with massive woods around me. Not just like little woods, but like our house backed up on all, like our whole cul-de-sac backed up to huge woods. And then we had a creek that turned into Cool Creek in Carmel. And so we had a creek right behind us. We as kids in the summer and in the winter, like we would like walk on it in the ice in the winter. And some places it went real deep and stuff. That's where I got my hand caught in the trap. I've told that story before too, didn't I? But my friend had to go back and the sun was coming down, and it was I saw the deer in the woods, and it was like real peaceful. And I was so scared, but like all of a sudden I saw these animals and I got real peaceful. It's a weird story, but anyway, the way I look back on it, I got my hand caught in it. We would play in the woods for hours. I know I don't seem like that person today, but like in the summer, oh my God, we would like make little mud areas to trap tadpoles. So we had like little swimming pool areas, and we'd like turn over rocks for crawdads, and we were always playing in the creek in the woods, always making forts in the woods. I had a tree house behind my house. Other people did. We'd make tree houses. We always making forts in the woods, and always in the woods as kids. Or we were playing in the cul-de-sac, and we were playing like sports. Always in the woods as kids. We loved it. And back then too, our parents were very much like, get outside. You don't need to be in the house. Like we live in the woods. We have a neighborhood. There's kids to play. All of our parents were like that. Like we were not, I can remember like having Atari, having Nintendo when Nintendo came out. I still have my original Atari and Nintendo down in the basement, in the basement. But I can remember like, unless like I remember going over to other people's houses, like, when I was maybe, like, late elementary school. I never got into the whole video game thing. I just didn't. But that was kind of, like, before anybody really did. I can remember, like, when I was, like, late elementary school, like, people that I knew, like, their younger siblings would be real into it. But, like, even us, like, we would I remember I played on Nintendo Pitfall a lot. But I get real bored of it real quick. I was just never a video game person, ever. I don't remember really anybody that I knew at that age, that period of time. I feel like the video game generation came right after me. Like, I don't really, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Somebody will probably be like, no, I loved video games. I mean, we all had them. Like, I remember us all having, I have the original Atari console. Like I said, I still have it. I had a ColecoVision. I don't really, like, I can remember, like, playing it, like, if like, my mom had friends over on a sleepover or something, like, and I didn't really have that many friends anyway. I don't really remember, like, breaking it out, and, like, Frogger I liked, Pitfall, but I don't remember, like, playing it for hours on end. Like, Alex remembers, like, him and his brother Carlos, like, playing Fufu, like, playing video games for hours. Like, when Alex and I first started dating, he was really, really into Mario Kart. I remember I bought him a couple different games and stuff like that. And, like, when I'd sit there, like, on a Sunday and I'd read, and he'd just play, like, video games for, like, 3 or 4 hours. It was fun. I loved it. But, like, it was soothing to listen to it in the background while I was reading or whatever. We make a fire. I have still not had a fire yet. Alex, the other day, he even shamed me for it. He said, I cannot believe that it is, like, almost spring and you have not had a fire. He's like, let's have a fire this weekend. I was like, But what if I want to take a nap? We'll have a fire this weekend. I think Alex is going out with one of his girlfriends this weekend because her husband's out of town or something like that for work. So he said something about maybe going out one night this weekend. Maybe I'll go out one night with them this weekend. Doubtful. Doubtful. But maybe. Always leave your options open. Always thinking. Anyway, yeah, but I don't really remember being into video games. I don't really remember a lot of the people, definitely not the people on my street. Like, we always were outside, and all of our parents were like, I can remember being over at other people's houses, like my neighbors' houses and stuff like that, and their moms being like, okay, lunch is over outside, you guys need to go play outside. Like, we would go, like, eat dinner, and I can remember, like, eating dinner at, like, 5, and then, this guy runs every day so much. I see him out there when I'm, like, I'll see him in here when I'm vlogging, and then when I walk, he is still running out there. He's real tall. Anyway, I don't really want to be a runner, but I wish, I mean, he, like, runs forever. But anyway, I can remember, like, in the summers, oh my God, we loved it outside. We just, like, I can remember me and Jesse and Katie just, like, sitting in the front yard, and we just, like, play with grass, and we would, like, I mean, we were the kids in the neighborhood that were, like Stranger Things kids. I mean, we were the ones talking about, like, oh my God, do you think Mrs. Wilson, like, she has a dead body in there? We were totally those kids, like... The boys didn't... We had a lot of boys in our neighborhood, like sports athletes boys. And we were not that. Like, I played tennis, but other than that, I mean, we like to go swimming and stuff like that. We were big swimmers, but my neighbor next door, Katie, she had a swimming pool. I don't really remember going to it a whole lot, though. Which is weird that I don't remember that. I mean, we did, but I don't remember going to it a lot. But yeah, I can just remember us at night, like... So all of our parents were friends, too. So we were the 3 houses in the cul-de-sac. It was me, and then Katie, and she had, like, 7 brothers and sisters, and she was the youngest. And then it was, like, Jessie and her brother, and her mom, who became one of my mom's lifelong friends, like, till my mom died, one of her best friends. And then her stepdad. Oh, my God, my mom loved him so much. And he was, like, 20 years older than her mom. And when they moved in... She had, like, purple hair when she moved in, and she was an interior decorator, and she was real wild and different. Like, the neighborhood had no clue what, like, was coming in the neighborhood. My mom loved her from the minute that she moved in, and she kind of took my mom under her wing and stuff like that. Like, they had a boat in Nassau. I mean, I look back on that, and I think this was the 80s, and they literally, like, they owned a boat in Nassau. They took my mom down there and stuff like that. Like, they were so nice to my mom. She was one of my mom's best friends her entire life. So protective of my mom. But anyway, I can remember, like, we would go into dinner. Like, lunch we would usually eat over at somebody's houses. Well, okay, so my mom was friends with all of the parents, especially her. Like, that was one of my mom's best friends. And other people in the street my mom was friends with. There was a couple people that my mom didn't get along with, but none of them did. Like, the people that my mom was friends with, they didn't get along with either. You know what I mean? And so... Like, I can remember sometimes, like, my mom in the summer had a lot of people that came and stayed and visited with us. Like, Susie, my mom's friend that I call my Aunt Susie, she'd come and stay with us for, like, 2 weeks. I mean, she'd go visit other people, but her and her daughters came. Her daughter is 7 days older than me, and her other daughter's 2 years older than me. So they would come for, like, 2 weeks in the summer. Susie's from Tipton, so, like, she would, like, which is, like, 30 minutes north of here. So she'd go stay in Tipton for a couple days, and she'd come here. Is this Alex? This is my husband, I can tell. It is my husband. Did he text me? He's waving at me and stuff like that. I'm gonna go and say, where am I at on this video? Still got 14 minutes left of it. That's about the time I have left on this video. I'm gonna go in and say hello to him really quick and see what he's gonna do. And I will come back and finish the vlog. So I will be back in don't miss me too much. I know for you, it's just like a blink of an eye. I'll be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. He's gonna go upstairs and change and then relax for a little bit. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna finish my vlog. I'm not gonna vlog for a real long tonight. But anyway, I looked at my drama video. It still has 1 hour and 48 minutes, y'all. Oh my God. I might have to take my walk while that's uploading. I mean, I'm done with my stuff early enough. I told him, I said, can you believe that I've got everything done and I filmed on every channel and it's like so early? So he's like, I know, I can't believe it. What time is it? So anyway, oh, how much longer on this? Not too much longer, it'll be uploaded. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, but like I can remember we would eat lunch. Well, sometimes like after tennis. So I played tennis most days in the summer. How was I gonna? I was starting the story. I was talking about how the house was. Oh, I was talking about the laundry, and then I'll finish the story. But the laundry, I can remember going down. So my mom taught me how to do laundry real early because, and I loved it, and I still love doing laundry. I love ironing. My mom would set the ironing board up. Oh, this so reminded me of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Because my mom and I, we watched that movie. I want to read, I've got the book on Audible. I have the book. I don't know which one, if I'm going to read it or listen to it on Audible, but this summer that will be one of the books I read. I've been wanting to read it for, I don't know if I've ever finished it. I think my mom and I read it that summer, then we watched the show. But the mom in it, she would iron laundry. She like, that's what she did for a job. She like, or extra money. She would iron people's like clothes and sheets and stuff like that. Do you remember that? Is that in Tree Grows in Brooklyn, the movie? So my mom would set up she would make the percolator, coffee in the percolator, and then she would set up the ironing board. Okay, so when I was like 10 or 12 or something, I was always fascinated with laundry. Like I can remember sitting in the basement floor. So in all these rooms, it was a concrete floor. Oh, that guy has like this fur hat on like this. This big fur hat on. Are we getting any good mail? All just flyers, it looks like. Crap. Anyway, so in all the rooms, there were like rugs. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, not nice rugs. Like, you know, today you go to like, you know, buy like at Lowe's or something, like some big rug. It wasn't that. It was like, where is he getting, are we getting more mail? Or is he getting the next person's mail? It was like cut out scraps of carpet. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Do you guys remember this, like in houses? It wasn't just our house. I remember, like, other people had that in their basements, too. And it was, like, that real flat. But it was just, like, cut out and then, like, laid on top of the concrete. Like, they had always planned to get it done. But, like, they never finished the basement, ever. My mom didn't. But anyway. So, I would just sit down there on this rug and I would just play when I was a little kid. And I'd watch my mom, like, fold the laundry and she'd sing. And I just loved it. I was always fascinated with laundry. But I think that the sound of the dryer is so soothing to me today because I think it reminds me of that period. But anyway, so as I got older, I can remember like asking my mom. Like my mom, I don't know if a lot of parents still do this today or grandparents or whatever, but like my mom would do like, she had her laundry planned out. Like on Fridays or like on Saturdays, she would do like all whites. And then on Sundays, she would do like all darks. And then on Monday, she would do like all sheets. And then on Tuesday, she'd do all towels. Like she had it planned out, like how she did it. And she never like deviated from that. Probably where I get some of my OCD from. But, I mean, it was very planned and scheduled out. So, like, I can remember I asked her one time something, like, I wanted a pair of pants or something for school. And she was like, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I can't even remember what it was, but I was like, I really want it. Maybe I was like 10 years old. And she was like, I think it's time that I teach you how to do your own laundry. She was like, because, you know, like, mom does, if it's not there, then, like, you need to tell me. Like, if you tell me at 5 o'clock in the evening, then sure, like, I'll do it for you, because to wash and dry a pair of pants, whatever. But she's like, you can't tell me at 10 o'clock and we're getting ready to go to bed. And so she, like, took me downstairs, and I remember, like, I have told this story because I talked about the bra. So I, like, washed these pants and dried them, and, like, and I was so proud of myself, and I learned how to iron and all this kind of, well, I knew how to do some of that stuff already, but that was when I really started doing it on my own. And I was, like, at that point, like, I always wanted to do laundry. And I would do, like, the towels and all that kind of stuff for all of us. But anyway, my mom would have her laundry laid down, like, in little piles in the basement. I mean, the room was big, cement break. This part, I mean, it wasn't big, but it was, like, laundry. I mean, it was a big room for a laundry room. Had, like, a, you know, a hanging cord in the middle of it or whatever. I'm gonna sneeze. Do sneezes come in threeses? No, not today. Okay. So anyway, or maybe that was my third sneeze because I sneezed twice before. Angel numbers. If you know, you know. Anyway, I know somebody just laughed so hard. Anyway, that was what my drama video was about today. Anyway, so, but this one time, my mom, I don't know, she must have been gone that night or something. She had all this laundry out, but like her piles were always real small. And so she'd have like whites, and it'd be like 5 white t-shirts or something, you know? But she had this one pile, I don't remember, but anyway, it had, my mom wore wire bras when I was growing up as a kid, which I probably later in life too. But anyway, towards the end of her life, she always wore jogging bras because she said they were more comfortable. But she had this wire bra, okay? Well, I was trying to be real nice and like wash and dry this bra. So I did, but like I'm not thinking, I mean, I don't know anything about washing and drying a bra. I'm like 11 or 12, right? Like, and I remember I put it in the dryer and my mom came home. I think it was, like, I don't think I pulled this stuff out. I can't remember how it happened. I mean, it's been so long now, but I think this is when my mom told me the story about the sweater with her sister because she was so, I mean, she was trying so hard not to get mad, but I ruined this bra. And she was like, don't ever wash any of my bras again. Just, it's fine, I'll do them. But the wire on this bra, like, I destroyed this bra. And she was like, it's a very expensive bra, like, wire bra. I don't know if wire bras back then were expensive or something. Like, God knows she wouldn't spend 2 cents on pantyhose because she hung them from the shower every chance she got. I can remember walking to her bathroom; they were always hanging in her bathroom. Pantyhose. Does anybody wear still like full pantyhose, like with the like over the underwear and everything, or whatever you do? I mean, just people still wear pantyhose today, like not like tights, not like, you know, knee highs. Like what my mom, what she used to call knee highs. She'd call them something so funny. What'd she call them? Half hose or something? What did she call them? It was so funny. Why can't I remember that? But anyway, so when my mom and my aunt were growing up, my mom would leave. My aunt always had a bunch of extracurriculars that she would do in school in the morning. So they were 2 years, well, 3 years apart. So when my aunt was a senior, my mom was a sophomore. So 3 years apart, but they were a year and a half apart in ages. So, I mean, both my mom and her, like, dressed like they love clothes, like all their life. And my grandma, as poor as she was, always tried to give them the best of everything. I mean, now we know. I mean, my grandma was stealing money, probably to give them the best of everything, you know? So, I mean, my mom said we each had both of us had a car, like, you know, at, like, IU. There was no reason for that when grandma was taking the bus. My aunt definitely felt bad about that her whole life. But, I mean, but, you know, the piece that we didn't know is that our grandma went to prison. I mean, they knew that. So, like, that one piece of, like, well, grandma went to prison because she was stealing money to try to make sure that we had the life that she never had. Like, they never told us. When I talk about, like, those pieces would have made a lot of sense to us, to Caroline and I, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they would just talk about how they had all this guilt because, like, mother gave up so much. They would say mother gave us so much for them. But we didn't really get it. You know what I mean? Like, because we didn't know that grandma had gone to prison to give them this life. They knew that, but we didn't know that, you know? But anyway, so my mom and my aunt, I mean, this is the late 50s. They wore sweater sets, which would be like a sweater blouse, like a cashmere blouse with like a short sleeve sweater over it that had like the pearl buttons or whatever. Well, so my aunt would leave for school before my mom did if she didn't want to take a ride with my aunt. So my mom wanted to borrow some sweater set. It was like brand new, my aunt's or something like that. And it was like cream or white or something like that. And it was like cashmere or some kind of like mohair or something like that. My mom would tell the story. But this was like when she first told me the story. And so she wore it to school, but she got like pen ink on it or something. And so she came home and my grandma said something to her like, she's going to get mad if she sees that. And it was like just a little bit of ink. So my mom like washed it real quick. I can't remember how it happened. she washed it real quick or something like that and got the pen ink out of it. But back then they would keep all their sweaters and stuff like in plastic bags and containers. I can't remember if she washed it like in the washing machine or how it happened. Anyway, it like shrank up like a baby doll. My mama called it, she would say like a Barbie sweater, like a baby doll sweater. It was like this big. Like it shrunk from this to like this big. And my mom just like put it back. I think it got like, it shrunk and it molded. So she put it back in this plastic. Well, it's like a month later or 2 weeks later. My aunt has forgotten about this sweater. Okay, hasn't worn it or anything like that. And my grandma and my aunt, my mom is like on the floor. They're in the living room watching TV. My grandma, my mom's stepdad, and my mom. And she's on the floor watching TV. And my mom, like she would say her whole life, she'd say, I heard this blood-curdling scream come from our room, because they shared a room. And she'd be like, it was like your Aunt Kathy was just like, ah! She's like, we thought something had happened to her. And all of a sudden, she just came in running, and she just like clawed down my back. She's like, my mom's stepdad had to like pull my aunt off of her because she had destroyed the sweater. So my mom was like, moral of the story, don't touch mom's bras. Like my mom was very nice about the whole thing, but she was like, don't touch mom's bras. But anyway, that neighborhood was so much fun to grow up in. You know, and I think part of it was because like school was such hell for me. I was so bullied at school. But like on that neighborhood, I mean like all the parents like must have like, I don't know, like all the kids were really nice to me. They never made fun of me for being effeminate or gay. I was always like involved in everything, the sports and stuff like that. But you know, like even when we would play sports, like me and the two girls, like we were real competitive. Like when we would play, like the only sport I don't, like we would play baseball sometimes, but not always. We would tease the boys. That's what they got so mad about. So they wouldn't want us to play because we teased them. We'd like chomp our gum. You know, we'd be like, hey, batter, hey, batter, hey, batter, hey, batter, batter. They would get so pissed at us. So they didn't want us to play. They'd be like, not them. So we just walked down the street. We didn't care anyway. We just get so bored, like in the middle of a game. They'd be like fighting over something, like a point or whatever. We just throw down the bats. And we were like, we're done. That's when we walked down to like Mrs. Smith's house. I'm making her name up. And she'd be out there gardening. She'd be like, I just made some chocolate chip cookies. Y'all want it? Oh, yes, Mrs. Smith. And then she'd be like, what are you guys up to? Oh, the boys are being so mean to us. She'd be watering her flower. We'd hear all the gossip. This is probably why I love this. Probably reminds me of growing up as a kid. We heard all the gossip in the neighborhood. Then we'd take it back to our moms, you know, because my mom would be over at Jesse's house or vice versa, you know, having a beer on the front porch or something. Because my mom, so this was what I was going to say. Like, we'd all go eat dinner, and then we come back out to play. And I can remember Jesse and Katie and I sitting in the front yard just, like, picking at grass while the boys were playing. Or we'd play, like, you know, Ghosts in the Graveyard and all that kind of stuff. All of us kids did back then in the neighborhood. Oh, my God, we had so much fun at night. In the summers, we loved it. Oh, my God, we played, like flashlight tag in the woods. That was scary. We loved it. Oh, my God. But, like, we would go back to our mom, like our houses, and our moms would be with each other, you know, whatever, or sitting on the porch having a beer, smoking a cigarette, and we'd be like, oh my God, listen to what Mrs. Smith told us about her husband. They just laughed. They thought it was so. We'd sit there. I can see the three of us, like Katie and Jesse and I, just sitting there on the brick, or my mom's brick courtyard, and they're like sitting out there drinking a beer. My mom's smoking a cigarette, and they're just like laughing at us, telling us about Miss Smith and her husband and all this kind of stuff. Oh my God, it was so fun. Forever I wanted to write this book, kind of like based, well, this is what I was going to call it, cul-de-sac. And it was going to be based on this because this is what I was going to get to. So I meant to look this up a while ago. I think I have one time, and I keep on forgetting to look it up. But you look it up, or should I look it up? Oh, my video's still not uploaded yet. How is it taking? Now it's at. It just literally went from 53 minutes to 1 minute. What is going on with this? This is crazy town. Anyway, drop it, Walter. Drop it. But anyway, there was this burglar called the cat burglar. I don't know why he got that name. I think it was because he was like crawling up the side of houses. You know, like cat burglars would like crawl up on people's like roofs and things like that. But no, true story. He was like crawling up on like people's houses and stuff like that. Well, he had hit like 3 houses on our street. I can remember it was like, it happened over like a year, like 6 months or something. I remember the house at the very end of our street. Like when you came onto our street, this white house, it was massive. And I remember like they thought they got hit or something. And then like the house across the street got hit. It was like it wasn't just our street. It was like all the neighborhoods around us. I mean, it's like a big deal. Like people were really worried and stuff like that. I can remember my mom was really worried because we did not have an alarm on our house. And my mom was like, your dad didn't want to get an alarm in this house. My dad was like, oh, whatever. So anyway, my mom, so we used to have this leash that you would like put the dog on, you know, outside the back door or whatever. And so like one morning, it was like in the winter, I think I had left for school or something. Or maybe it was like while I was eating breakfast. I mean, I was young when this happened. I can't remember. It would have been like right after my dad left, because I can remember she was like terrified after this. Hey, how are you? You got your scarf on. It's getting cold. It is starting to get cold out here. She had such a cute like white long scarf on. I love that. I think maybe I'll get a white scarf. But anyway, or like a light gray. Wouldn't a light gray scarf look nice? See, I always get white, gray, black, khaki color. It's boring. I need some color in my life. Look at that. Anyway, so my mom, she's putting the dog out back, and you go through the garage, and it was like the back door. And so she opened the back door. It had like snowed the night before. And there were like footprints, and then there was like this open jewelry box, and the jewelry was just like spilling out all over it. Well, the cat burglar had robbed that house at the end of our street, ran all the way down the street. Like the cops had like chased him and then like lost him in the, he had like, okay, so our street like went like this, and then it came out around the cul-de-sac. So like our backyard went into like the sixth house down on the street. Like we joined, like it's kind of, and then the street kept from like their house over here to our house. The street went like that. Does that make sense? So there was like woods. So he ran down the street through their woods into our woods, like into our driveway. Which is interesting because that house was an anesthesiologist that worked with my dad and was one of my dad's best friends his whole life. So anyway, has been one of my dad's best friends. They're still alive, and so is my dad. So has been one of my dad's best friends his whole life. So anyway, they don't live on that street anymore either. But anyway, so the cat burglar ran through like their yard, through the woods, and then out our driveway, back through our woods, and like escaped. Well, he wasn't caught. Like he wasn't caught for like a week or 2 or 3 weeks later. But so my mom had to go. Like the police wanted her to come down and give a statement. She was scared to death. She was like, I don't want to give a statement. Like, what if this guy comes back? Well, then I think she had to testify for it or something too. Like when they finally did catch him, and she had to like testify in the case or something, because she was the one that had like found the jewelry box. I remember like something, she told me something about it. She was like, don't touch it, or I can't remember how it happened now. My dad would remember. I'd have to ask my dad, because I think like she called him first. Like even though my parents were divorced, like my mom would always like defer to my dad. Like she was always scared, and she'd be like, no, I gotta call your dad about this or whatever. So she probably called my dad. I don't remember how that all went down, but I do remember like she was scared a lot after that happened. Like she was like demanding, she was like, you need to put an alarm clock on this house. My dad had moved out like a year or 2 before that. He's like, I'm not putting an alarm on the house. This was back when people didn't really have alarms on their house. I mean, now everybody has an alarm on their house and cameras and everything. But back then my dad was like, no, you don't need no. He's like, if they need it, they can take it. That was my dad's attitude back then. Like, if they need it, they can take it. He doesn't have that attitude today, but he had that attitude back then. My mom's like, okay, but I'm living here alone with a child. My dad's like, they're not going to come in and steal anything. Well, they didn't come into our house, but they dropped the jewelry box back there. Why do I feel like I was the one maybe that saw it first? And then I called my mom, and she was like, don't touch it. Maybe it was me that was putting the dog out. Why am I like... The older I get, I feel like I don't remember the stories as well. I know I've told that story on here before. I'm gonna have to ask my dad, how do you remember me telling it? Now I don't remember. My mom's not alive to ask. Nobody's alive anymore for me to ask. My dad wasn't even living at the house, but he would remember, but he wouldn't remember like, did I see the jewelry? I almost kind of feel like I can see the jewelry box sitting there in the snow. I feel like I saw the jewelry box when I was putting the dog out, and then I told my mom. That must have been how it went. Because then she was like, she closed the door or something, and she was like, let's call the cops. I can't remember. I mean, you guys, I'm talking, like, this was almost 50 years ago. It's kind of sad. Like, I wish I would write, I mean, I've got my videos of this, so I guess please tell me what I said. I mean, this is kind of like a living journal, you know? It's kind of like when people are like, no, he's lying because the last time. No, it's called I'm getting older and I forget how it went. Like, it's like if somebody writes it down in their journal and they tell it a different way 30 years later, it's not that they're lying. It's like they got older and they forgot. Like, I'm in my 50s. Like, I don't remember things the way that, I mean, I've been vlogging for 10 years. Please somebody remind me. Who found the jewelry box? Me or my mom? I don't remember. It's not really that important, but I would kind of like to remember. But anyway, if you remember that story, you'll remember I also was thinking about writing a book called Cul-de-sac, and it was going to be about this cat burglar. I was going to make it up, kind of related to that, but it was going to be about like me. I was going to make characters based on like me, Jesse, and it was going to be kind of like Ode to like To Kill a Mockingbird. These 3 kids that like, and this mystery in the background that was going on in this cul-de-sac this summer. That was going to be my idea. And then I looked it up and there was a book called Cul-de-sac, I think. Oh, the video's done. Does that mean I'm done? Video killed the radio star. My coffee is cold too. Well, I think, oh, Alex just said he dropped his coworker off and he will be home in 3 minutes. He did text me. Hold on a second. Do you hear that bird? Birds and the sound of laundry machines. I love it. Well, I guess it would be the dryer, not the laundry machine. It's the dryer that I heard going. To clarify. Just to clarify. I need to clarify this. Anyway. Alright, well, I'm going to get off here now. I can't believe it's so early. Well, now I got to get all the videos up. I'm going to get the videos up before I go on my walk, is what I'm going to do. And then when I'm going on my walk. Well, I can't because of my drama video. Oh. Well, I'll hang out with my husband and stuff. Well, maybe I'll take my walk while the drama video is done, and I'll be done with everything. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. A little trip down memory lane. That was fun talking about the neighborhood. Maybe that is why I love this neighborhood so much. It reminds me of my childhood neighborhood growing up. I mean, everybody in here is so friendly. This bird just came and landed right in this tree and is like looking right at me. It's kind of just a boring bird, or I would show it to you. Hi! Oh, is it blue in the back? I can't really tell. It's like blue and kind of like a burnt orange-ish, maybe. Kind of like a pale beige, burnt orange-ish. Why did I just get really hungry? Oh, it just flew away. Oh, this I was going to say the other day. I don't know if I said this, but it's kind of weird looking at these trees. You can see like remnants of the nests, like some of the nests that were like this summer. Like right there, there's one. In this tree, there's not too many. I always think when like the trees are full in the summer, there's like so many nests. But I would have seen them in the yard if they fell out, so they must not have. I can see one right up there. Now, my neighbor, Pool Crew Lady number 1, she's got 1, 2, 3. Her tree's a lot bigger than mine is, though. 3, 4. Oh, 5, 6. She got 7. She's got 7. Honey, that was a hotel over there. That was a busy hotel over there. I just got 1. Mrs. Birdie. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing, what is today? Oh my God, it's only Monday. Magically amazing Monday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow. Hope you had a great beginning to your week as well. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.